Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopeful elect. It's the brother Isaiah, okay, from the Pittsburgh GMS camp, coming at you with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha HaKodash. Lord willing, this is edifying, okay. And basically, I was watching the brothers, let me see, out there. Open up my phone and tell you exactly where or who the brothers is. Right, the brother's channel's name is GMS space Feed the Flock, when that's all together. GMS space Feed the Flock. All right, and that's them brothers out there in Des Moines, I believe. At least I know one of the brothers. I recognize him from GMS Des Moines. All right, and it was a lesson they did. I think they may be live as I speak. Okay, but it says "Spirit like the wind." That's typically what they name their live streams. And one of the brothers made a statement, and you know, it sparked this lesson. And the statement was, "Quit blaming Satan for everything. Quit blaming Satan for everything." You know, and you know the bro was being funny, but you know, you got to be able to envision what brothers are saying when they say these things, because he's right. And the precepts came to mind after he said it, but you know, he put forth a depiction. He said, you know, here it is, you over there getting judged, you know, certain things happening to you, and it's truth, you know, and you just, damn, Satan, man, Satan, you know, you just Satan. He say, you know, and he was, you know, like I said, he was speaking as a man, he was being funny, but he was like, Satan sitting over in the corner like, nigga, I ain't even stunning you. You over here, you know what I'm saying? You blaming me. I'm over here messing with Esau right now, you know? I'm over here doing this and doing that, you know? And, you know, certain, you know, like I said, precepts came to mind, and the thought also came to mind, like, bruh, he worked for the Most High. So if you're being judged, it's because the Most High has sent it down for that to happen. Now, we have scenarios, two different scenarios. Now, we know us being in this truth, right? There's going to be things that happen to us. Okay, there's going to be things that happen to us in this truth. Okay, so that's one aspect of it that most brothers are familiar with. Okay, I guess I'll start here. Sirach 2 and 1, and you know, that's the classic. You know, but bear with me, because we're going to get to the other aspect after this. You know, I'll just probably jump right into it and, you know, just get a balance. But Sirach 2 and 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure. And make not haste in time of trouble. Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state. It doesn't say if thou art changed, it says when thou art changed, because it's going to happen at some point to try you. Look at Job, okay, it happened to him. Verse 5, for gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. So, okay, adversity is going to come. Adversity is going to come. All right, I guess I'll, you know, get some more precepts, you know, on that, at least one more, okay? Just going with the spirit. Okay. It tells us in the book of Acts here, okay, in 14 and 22, it says, confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we must through much tribulation enter into the kingdom of the Most High. So that is how it happens. The book of 2nd Ezra, I believe it is chapter 7, depicts it perfectly, okay, of how we're going to go into these things, okay? 2nd Ezra, I believe, what is it? 7, okay? 2nd Ezra 7, I'm going to get to the point. Yeah. All right. 2nd Ezra 7 in verse 3. And I said, speak on, my power. Then said he unto me, the sea is set in a wide place, that it might be deep and great. But put the case, the entrance were narrow and like a river. Who then could go into the sea to look upon it and rule it? If he went not through the narrow, how could he come into the broad? So if you only have one entrance, you know, let's say you're on a boat, you can't get into that big body of water till you go through the entrance. Okay, that narrow river in this case. Okay, verse 6, there is also another thing. A city is builded and set upon a broad field, and is full of all good things. The entrance thereof is narrow, and set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if there were a fire on the right hand, and on the left hand a deep water. Okay, verse 8, and I'm kind of reading a little fast because I want to get to the point. And one only path between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could but one man go there at once. If this now were given unto a man for an inheritance, if he shall never pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance? And I said, It is so, Lord. Then said he unto me, Even so also is Israel's portion. All right. So yeah, we get that. We understand that. Most people understand that at this point. That's a basic understanding that comes with this truth, is that you're going to go through some tribulation. But wait a minute, there's another aspect of it that most people don't think about, and may not even know. 1 Corinthians 11. Okay. All right. Now, this is speaking about, in this particular context, it does, particularly speak about, okay, the Passover, okay, and the ceremony that was done around the Passover, where it was, okay, let's see here. 1 Corinthians chapter 11, okay, verse 24. Now this was the Passover, right? And when he had given thanks, he brake it. This is Yahushua, because you can see it's in red. He brake it and said, Take, eat, this is my body, which is broken for you. Do this in remembrance of me. After the same manner also he took the cup when he had supped, saying, This cup is the New Testament in my blood. This do ye as oft as ye drink it in remembrance of me. Now hold on now. So now we got to start thinking. Okay, let's 26. For as often as ye eat this bread and drink this cup, ye do shew the Lord's death till he come. Whereso whosoever shall eat this bread and drink this cup of the Lord unworthily shall be guilty of the body and blood of the Lord. But let a man examine himself, and so let him eat of that bread and drink of that cup. For he that eateth and drinketh unworthily eateth and drinketh damnation to himself, not discerning the Lord's body. For this cause many are weak and sickly among you, and many sleep. All right, so there's a lot in that, okay? And we know in particular, this is speaking of the Pesach, okay? The Pesach, you have to examine yourself before the Pesach comes. You have to, purge out the old leaven, these different things. You have to prepare yourself, and you don't want to eat of the Pesach, okay, unworthily. But there's other levels to this body and this blood that's spoken of, okay? Another aspect brothers was going into, I believe the brother Hawashai Zion and the elder Yashawamba was speaking about this earlier too. Okay. Right. John 6. Okay, and 51. John 6 and 51, I believe I'm gonna start at. Let's get it. Okay. John 6 and 47. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that believeth on me hath everlasting life. I am that bread of life. Your fathers did eat manna in the wilderness and are dead. This is the bread which cometh down from heaven, Salakia, that a man may eat thereof and not die. See, this is the bread. And what bread is he speaking of? He's speaking of himself. I am the living bread which came down from heaven. If any man eat of this bread, he shall live forever. And the bread that I will give is my flesh, which I will give for the life of the world. Now hold on now. Let's see this, right? All right. John 1 and 14 says, And the word was made flesh and dwelt among us, and we beheld his glory as of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth. Okay, so the word was made flesh. Yahushua is equal. He is the word made flesh. Okay, he is the word. Okay. Phone's over there blinging. Wisdom of Solomon 18 and 15 says, Thine almighty word leaped down from heaven out of thy royal throne as a fierce man of war into the midst of a land of destruction, and brought thine unfeigned commandment as a sharp sword, and standing up filled all things with death, and it touched the heaven, but it stood upon the earth. Then suddenly visions of horrible dreams troubled them sore, and terrors came upon them unlooked for. and one thrown here and another there, half dead, shewed the cause of his death. For the dreams that troubled them did foreshew this, lest they should perish and not know why they were afflicted. Okay. Yea, the tasting of death touched the righteous also, and there was a destruction of the multitude in the wilderness, but the wrath endureth not long. But basically, okay, it says, thine almighty word leapt down from heaven out of thy royal throne. The word is Yahawashi. He leapt down to put this destruction, okay, to bring that destruction upon the firstborn of Egypt, man. Okay. All right. You see? So I just wanted to get that, you know, thy word is referring to Yahawashi. So when he says, okay, and like Lord willing, this is edifying. It says, John 6:51 again, I am the living bread which came down from heaven. If any man eat of this bread, he shall live forever. And the bread that I will give is my flesh, and which I will give for the life of the world. The Jews therefore strove among themselves, saying, how can this man give us his flesh to eat? Then Yahawashi said unto them, verily, verily, I say unto you, except you eat of the flesh of the Son of Man, and drink his blood, ye have no life in you. John 6:63 says, it is the spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profiteth nothing. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life. Okay, so if the spirit quickens, and he's saying that these words are the spirit, they are spirit and they are life, then Yahawashi is the word. So if you partake of this word, as the scriptures tell you, Ezekiel 3:1, okay, let me even go there. Ezekiel 3:1 says, moreover, he said unto me, son of man, eat that thou findest, eat this roll, and go speak unto the house of Israel. You have to eat the roll, which is the scriptures. Revelation 10:10, and I took the little book out of the angel's hand and ate it up, and it was in my mouth sweet as honey, and as soon as I had eaten it, my belly was bitter. Okay, and that roll is the scroll of the scriptures, man. Okay, which is representative of Yahawashi. So when he speaks of, okay, let's go back, right? So when he's speaking of eating this bread and drinking this cup, he's speaking of going into the scriptures on another level. Of course, like I said, this is something tying into the Pesach, okay, the Last Supper, the Pesach, okay, but also partaking, eating this bread and drinking this cup is going into these scriptures, man. Okay, there's another one that says, Salat. Oops. Trying to. Jude 1:12 says, these are spots in your feasts of charity, when they feast with you, feeding themselves without fear. Clouds they are without water, carried about of winds, trees whose fruit withereth, without fruit, twice dead, plucked up by the roots. Okay, so feeding themselves without fear can go into, like, you know, people that's learning this truth, but they're not doing it with fear and trembling. They're not being wary of the demons that come into your mind and all these different things. They're not taking heed of themselves. Okay, so that also can be eating and drinking unworthily, man. You see? So hopefully that made sense. So I'm gonna keep going. Verse 31. Now we get to, through the Spirit, now we get to the other aspect of being judged. Verse 31 says, for if we would judge ourselves, we should not be judged. But when we are judged, we are chastened of the Lord, that we should not be condemned with the world. So like the brother had kind of mentioned, he was like, quit blaming Satan. Sometimes you do stuff. Sometimes we do stuff. Let's just say it that way, because we've all done this before. Sometimes you do stuff that brings judgment upon you, and you can't equate that to a part of your chastising of your normal chastisement that's just supposed to try you. Sometimes you do things to bring certain judgments upon you, and the Lord has to teach you a lesson. You see? So like it says, verse 31, for if we would judge ourselves, we should not be judged. But when we are judged, we are chastened of the Lord, that we should not be condemned with the world. All right. So that's pretty much it, you know. The Lord, when the Lord chasteneth you, okay, he's dealing with you as a son, all right? And who is, you know, Hebrews 12:7 says, if ye endure chastening, the Most High dealeth with you as with sons. For what son is he whom the Father chasteneth not? Matter of fact, I need to go look, man. Why is my phone blinging everything? My phone is just agreeing over and over. This is crazy. Hebrews 12, okay. All right, maybe I have to go about that. Hebrews 12. Verse 4 says, ye have not yet resisted unto blood, striving against sin. And ye have forgotten the exhortation which speaketh unto you as unto children. My son, despise not thou the chastening of the Lord, nor faint when thou art rebuked of him. For whom the Lord loveth he chasteneth, and scourgeth every son whom he receiveth. For who he loves he will chasten, so he's going to punish you. Verse 7, Salah. Verse 7, if ye endure chastening, the Most High deal with you as with sons. For what son is he whom the Father chasteneth not? Okay? But if ye be without chastisement, whereof all are partakers, then are ye bastards and not sons. Okay? And the bros actually went into this, okay? Furthermore, we have had fathers of our flesh which corrected us, and we gave them reverence. Shall we not much rather be in subjection unto the Father of spirits and live? For they verily for a few days chastened us after their own pleasure, but he for our profit, that we might be partakers of his holiness. Okay? So sometimes we'll get chastened, and it's simply just to make you a better person, but sometimes it's because we did do something. I mean, we're not without sin unless the Lord imputeth unto us righteousness. But sometimes we may do something and it may bring on a little bit of extra judgment. So the Lord has to just kind of show us, you need to quit doing this. Okay. Verse 11. Okay. Now no chastening for the present seemeth to be joyous, but grievous. Nevertheless, afterward it yieldeth the peaceable fruit of righteousness unto them which are exercised thereby. Wherefore lift up the hands that hang down, and the feeble knees, and make straight paths for your feet, lest that which is lame be turned out of the way, but let it rather be healed. So don't get down, don't get beat up to the point where y'all just, woe is me, I can't go on. Lift up your hands, strengthen your knees. Don't be so weak that you get kicked out the truth. Make straight paths for your feet, lest that which is lame, meaning, weak basically, be turned out of the way. We don't want to be turned out of the path of this truth, man, into the congregation of the dead. But let it rather be healed. Follow peace with all men and holiness, without which no man shall see the Most High Yahweh. Okay. But basically, we just got to be mindful, that there are some things that we do ourselves in order to bring condemnation unto us. It ain't always because, just Satan, I wish you'd just give me a break. I'm just tired of it, brother. I just can't. Sometimes, you remember last week when you stole that one thing, or you did this, or you did that. Well, yeah, that's it. Sometimes you don't even know what you did and you're getting punished, but that's just how it is, man. So, like the bro said, quit always blaming Satan. It ain't always Satan. I did have a few precepts because, the Lord sends these things down ultimately, but, you have to be able to just deal with these things, man. I probably won't even go into that. I could probably read this because the brother Howard Shah Zayam been bringing this out, and then, it's a very beautiful precept and thing to think about. 2 Corinthians 12. Okay. And 6 says, for though I would desire to glory, I shall not be a fool, for I will say the truth, but now I forbear, lest any man should think of me above that which he seeth me to be, or that he heareth of me. So Paul could have easily boasted of his works, but he said, I don't want nobody to get that, to look at me and try to exalt me, so I'm not going to, if Paul would have told the truth, he could have said, I have many works. But he was like, I'm not going to do that. You know, there's no point in me going into that. Verse 7, and lest I should be exalted above measure through the abundance of the revelation. See, he don't want to be exalted above measure because of how many revelations the Lord gave him. There was given to me a thorn in the flesh, the messenger of Satan to buffet me, lest I should be exalted above measure. You see, so the Lord will do things to keep you humble, to keep you in a low, on a lower estate, because we're supposed to be lowly of heart, a broken and contrite spirit is a sacrifice of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. So the Lord's going to keep you at a certain level. Don't get too big for your britches. But yeah, like I said, man, Lord willing, that was edifying. I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua by Hashem Rakah. Double honors to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopefully elect. All right, and just like I said, man, don't always blame Satan. Shalom.